Hello, and welcome to the TBI Podcast, Those Bored Individuals. What up, my Fresh? It's me, Fresh, and welcome to a brand new episode of Those Bored Individuals.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, it's November. The fireworks have stopped launching at last, so now I can walk my dog without any potential heart attacks.
Yeah.
The dog, I mean, not me, obviously.
No.
Good old Paul.
Yep, he's still hanging in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, how have you guys been since the last podcast?
Not too bad. Getting through the days.
Yep.
Been up and down.
Yeah. You know, right, and on my end, focusing on college or not, so that's fun.
Well, as for me, recently, well, I say recently, throughout these past few years, I have been slowly broadening my nephew's horizons.
Oh.
Yeah, because to all of those, to everyone out there who has a kid or even just a nephew or niece, as we all know, kids nowadays are growing up with the internet, and sometimes they tend to watch the more obscure and cringy parts of the internet.
Yeah.
So, in an effort to try and put an end to all of that, I have been secretly devising a plan where I show my nephew one new movie per visit. Yep. And why? Well, like I said, to broaden his horizons, because even though he and his parents, aka my older half-brother, even though they have a Disney Plus account, for a long time he didn't even use it.
Oh.
And I'm sitting here with a whole shelf of Disney Blu-rays, and as soon as I put on The Rescuers, that's what I knew I was aiming for.
Yeah.
So,
Every kid needs to
good as good.
watch Disney.
Yeah? And I knew that I was doing a good job when I was watching Fox and the Hound, and I went off to do something, and he grabbed the remote and he started watching it on his own. And I was like,
Oh.
yes, this is working. He's actively wanting to watch this.
Oh.
And in
Were his dreams dashed by the very sad scene?
I have no context.
I'll get to that in a moment. But it's since then it's worked. Less of the cringy, repetitive YouTube kid-friendly nonsense has been. All that's been kept silent, and now it's replaced with content that we all can love and enjoy.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Is
This is planned.
Yeah. Although I do have to bring this up. Is it in bad taste to say that I'm trying to find something scary?
Oh,
Scary isn't a scary movie for him to watch.
Yeah, because
Right.
the amount of things that I've put on that likely scared a lot of people and is just ridiculous how he's not found those scary. Like, I put on Scooby-Doo Zombie Island for him, and he didn't react. I put on Dumbo and the drug trip of that, and nothing. The only time he got close to being scared was when we were putting on Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can understand that one.
And it came up to the scene with the Marleys appearing and, doing their routine and such. You all know that one?
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Marley and Marley.
Oh.
Ooh. Yep.
The creepy thing about that scene is the build up to them, and then once they turn up, it's just awesomeness and dancing. It's like, hell yeah! But
Mm-hmm.
the bit where he's going around a house on his own in the dark is almost like horror-esque. Like, it's...
Yep. And let me tell you, at the start of the movie, I did say, since you're choosing this movie, Charlie, there are some scary scenes in it, but I'm gonna let you watch it. But if you do find anything scary in it, you can't complain about it to me when it's over. So that's my rule when I put on something that might be scary. And let me tell you, because we've got blankets on our sofas, he genuinely got scared, like, oh, it's happening. And right at that moment, my dad walked in and said, oh no, don't worry, Charlie, this isn't scary. Like, don't tell him that! I'm trying to...
It's a fresh and raw experience.
Yeah. And Rowan, you'll know this phrase. In the words of Rebecca Parham, if we aren't afraid sometimes, how can we learn to be brave?
Found,
Oh,
the island
child.
much more frightening than...
Child, just wait till I put on Jumanji.
On the contrary.
So what were you saying there, Dudley?
I was saying our Zombie Island I found much more terrifying than A Christmas Carol. Because
Yeah, because they did not pull punches with those zombies. They weren't just, like, shambling around stupidly. Those were rotting corpses.
Yeah. And it's like, interesting. Charlie got scared by the Charles Dickens product.
Well, I mean,
Sharing the name with might be a...
one good one that might be good to give him, the Black Cauldron.
Yep.
About
Wanting
That's...
to pull out the big guns.
Mm-hmm. And I see it in my...
That being said, a funny thing that me and my brother apparently used to do when we watched the Black Cauldron, you know that scene with the Horned King appearing, and it has this scary music like, and he's walking down the stairs, and it's all intimidating and scary. The thing me and my brother used to do is, like, it's a shot of his feet going down the stairs, and for some reason when they draw, like, medieval characters, they have their shoes be like these leather socks, kind of, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So what would happen, instead of us, me and my brother being like, oh no, the Horned King, we would just see that scene with his little leather socks, and we'd go, the Horned King, stop.
Yeah. Or I thought you were going to say, like, you made, like, fart noises every time you took a step, like...
Oh no.
Well, now I definitely can never take that scene seriously. No, me and my brother would just ignore the whole Horned King spooky music and just focus on the fact that for some reason the villain was wearing socks to his grand debut.
Yeah.
I like that Rara went, oh no, the Horned King, and the cat came in the frame as she said it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm focused on what's going on behind the scenes here. I'm making sure this is actually being recorded. So...
Yeah, the Dark Crystal could be a good one as well, potentially.
That one as well.
Well, let me tell you, the original Dark Crystal movie, I didn't see that till I was like 14. If it was unnerving for me at the age of 14, then it'll definitely be unnerving for children.
That's the original one with the puppets, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I have that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
The new series is good too, actually, like, for that. But if you want to go... If you're looking to absolutely scar him with animation, which I'm assuming you're not, like, rolling up sleeves, I don't want to recommend Watership Down, but...
Oh, God.
That would be a bit hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, just today he was over, and believe it or not, I showed him the first Pokemon movie, so there's that. My master plan worked. I officially converted him to a Pokemon fan.
You're not the only one.
Oh yes, Michael now plays Pokemon Go, so yes.
Yes, and Donnie has been showing me the whole Pokemon series as well, so this is good.
Mm-hmm.
We've got quite far into it, considering you've tasked yourself with showing Charlie or shows and stuff to get him into the other things. That was my mission when my siblings were born, and I failed. So
Oh.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
And I've turned to Michael now, and I'm showing him.
Well, another rule I implement is that you have, when we're sitting down watching this, you can't be doing anything else. You can't be sneaking off. You can't be playing on your own Switch. We're watching this because I'm putting this on for you. The least you can do is watch it with me. So there's that.
Yeah, it's like Michael playing Pokemon Go during us watching stuff.
I didn't do that.
So
Trying to get people to watch things with you can be a real roll of the dice.
Yeah.
yeah. And the strange thing is, because I react to things online, I try not to react around Charlie when he's watching these movies, because I remember when I was a child, I felt, and even nowadays, when I watch something around my parents from my childhood, I find it a little bit uncomfortable. Like, I'm watching this, I don't need you commenting on it or anything. So I basically said, I'm not going to do that with Charlie. I'm not going to react around him because I want him to form his own opinions on it, everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, nothing's worse than trying to watch something and people are like, oh, that's not realistic. They're so stupid for doing that thing. Or
Because I'm not sure what it is. Like, I was watching, I was putting on Cinderella, and we all know the mice in that movie are quite high pitched, and things can be a bit cringy. And all of a sudden, the whole family walks in, and I'm like, oh, come on, it's awkward enough with just two. But I don't know what it is. I'll need to research that. But enough about me. How have you guys been? Anything recent happened on your end?
Well, you see, last night I started to watch an animation show, and it's called Balto. I think that's called.
Ronco?
Balto. It's a Balto.
Also,
Balto?
Yeah. I couldn't say it then.
say an animated series or an animated movie?
It was a movie. I don't know why it's a series.
Oh, Balto is flipping amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? I literally just watched it yesterday, so I didn't realise it was on Netflix. So.
I
Cool. So, Rowan, Dudley, what about you?
well, I had a very stressful Thursday and Friday.
Oh.
Probably the most stressed I've been in a while.
Mm-hmm. I know
If
nothing.
you would like me to get into the depths of it.
I mean, that's
Right.
up to you, so, yeah.
Well, I'll try to keep it quick. As people know, I am now working full-time at a call centre where I have to take calls regularly and try to get them done quickly and smoothly. So what's been happening as of late is the way it works. I have a laptop. I have a few computers in front of me so I can do things like book things or check information. And while that happens, I have myself a nice little headset. And when you work at a call center and you have a headset, you expect the voice of the caller to come through the headset. However, last few days, it's not been coming through the headset even when plugged in. It's coming out of the laptop, and no one can figure out why.
Ooh.
So, and the worst part is it's not even consistent. Sometimes it comes through the headset just fine. Other times, it doesn't.
Jeez. It's like,
And this wouldn't be such a problem if it was working from home, but since I'm in an office where there's other people trying to carry out their calls, there's background noise from the people that's making it difficult for the people on my call to hear me, and it's making it difficult for me to hear them, so I just have to scramble and be like, okay, hello, welcome to whatever, can I very quickly have your number just in case we disconnect, because with the situation, I have every intention to disconnect so I can try and reconnect my headset and call them back so that we're not in this situation. But even then, it doesn't always work.
oh,
So, and that's just the start of it.
Oh
jeez.
no.
Yeah. So, okay, fine. I have that whole shebang at the office, and I'm driving home, taking a colleague with me because her house is on the way to my house.
Mm-hmm.
I reach her house, and as I'm pulling in, I bump up on the pavement, and my tire goes flat.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and like I had a spare tire in my boot, and I was trying to get it changed. Some people came out and tried to help me, but my car is second-hand, so it's a wee bit old. So the nuts that were keeping the old flat tire on had seized, so we couldn't get it off.
Sheesh.
Yep, and so I have to call up Mom, let her know what's going on. She comes to pick me up, and she says she'll get the car people to come out and sort it out in the morning. And I have work the next day, so it's like, okay, fine, I'm working in 11 to 7, I'll just take the train. It's fine, there's a train station right outside where I work. It will be fine, it'll be fine. It was not fine. It was far from fine. I get up in the morning, I go to the train, plenty of time to spare because, again, it's an 11 to 7. And I'm just sitting there being like, oh, it's nice to go on the train once in a while. It's nice to just sit back, relax, and boop, this train will now terminate at this station, which is apparently 10 stations from where you need to be.
Oh, God.
And you can imagine the expression I made.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
And the sad part is, I wasn't the only one surprised by this. There were other people on this train who had bought tickets, like they bought them online, they bought them from people, and everything indicated that it would be fine. They'd be able to get through way up to the end of the line without problems. So, needless to say, everyone is like, did they just say it was terminating at the next station? What's happening? Why is this happening? I bought a ticket. Why? It got so bad that when we did get to the terminated station and like everybody got off, and there were people at that station waiting to get on.
Oh.
So obviously this wasn't common knowledge, and we were just coming off like, don't bother, it's terminating here, don't bother. And there was even a wee bit of an angry mob surrounding the ticket guy as he was coming off. So
Oh, Jesus.
so yeah, half an hour till my work starts. I'm starting to freak. So it's like, okay, I'll just call my work and let them know what's happening, and I'll ask if I can work from home because I can do that. I have the technology to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Call them up. Fine. Call my mom. Please come get me. The train's terminated. She's my mother, whom I love with all my heart, and I would be lost without her, was nice enough to come and get me. I come home, I get set up, and the way this working from home thing works is there's a server thing on my computer that I connect to that connects me to their systems so I can work.
Mm-hmm.
And you can guess what happened.
Oh, Christ.
No connection. It will connect temporarily when there's no calls. Then when a call comes through, it would drop and I would go silent on their end. So there's patients on the other line going, hello? Hello?
Oh, God.
And I'm straddling the line between crying and mauling someone.
Oh, Jesus. And you're lucky. Did Holly ever come out?
Huh?
Your symbiote, Holly?
Oh, Holly. Oh, it felt close. It felt close.
Mm.
And so I'm on the verge of crying. I call up my manager. Hi, this server's not working. What do I do? Can I just come in and make the hours back later? And she's like, yeah, sure. And my mom, once again, light of my life, would be dead without her. Kind enough to lend me her car, but she actively held me back from work saying, have something to eat, calm down, just relax. And I did. And I got in her car, I put on some soothing music, gave myself a little pep talk as I drove to work, and did the remainder of my shift, which was about 1 till 7, so about 2 hours of work lost.
Jeez.
It's nice that your workplace seemed to be sympathetic as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're lovely people. They completely understand that these things happen. So I just need to make up the extra hours. Yesterday I worked an extra half hour, and on Monday I'll be working an extra hour, and then I'll be squared. But as you can imagine, it's had its effects.
Yikes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So I come back Friday night. I'm exhausted. I just want to get horizontal, lay down and stay down, as they say. So I just go, okay, I'm going to relax. I'm going to get under the covers, do some drawing, watch some anime, and I get under the covers and immediately conk out. And this is like 8 o'clock. I've gotten back from work. So,
Sheesh.
yeah,
Out like
so
a
I
light
just
at 8 o'clock
lay
at
down
night.
and I pass out. This wasn't even like me laying down dozing. I was fast asleep and dreaming.
Oh,
That's how tired I was.
I can
Wow.
imagine.
So not your finest hours. I mean,
Oh,
your connection cutting in and out, like
no.
your connection with customers cutting in and out like Galaxar cloning himself in Monsters vs. Aliens.
Oh, yes.
Technology sucks.
So it's been stressful, it's been exhausting, and it's apparently and so I just took today to just have a lie-in until 12, not even get out of my pajamas except shower and just cut about. And it on Friday or Thursday, I think it was, it made me so upset that I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to have an impulse buy to make myself feel better. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I am now the proud owner of my very own Switch.
Oh, what now? Literally?
Yeah.
Oh my
Does that mean we will
god!
have-
Send your
Ladies
friend
and
code!
gentlemen,
Send
that
your
mean we
friend
have a
code in the
Switch?
chat!
yeah, I'll have to figure out
We
do
do.
that. But,
We all have to
many
switch.
people at home may not be able to see.
Okay, friend codes after this. Friend codes.
Yeah.
Friend codes.
Me baby on Switch.
Oh my god.
Yes, she's showing it on
Look at
camera,
this
folks.
handsome lad.
Ooh, it's
Have
Yeah.
Animal Crossing.
all white by the looks of
Not
things.
yet. I knew it was going to be the first question you guys would ask, so I'm definitely going to buy it.
Yes.
Now we'll be able to hang out. True nerds on virtual, never seeing each other's faces in reality.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, if we could, in like a couple of months, if the four of us did GoldenEye together, that would be so
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, Dudley?
That's enough to take in.
Yeah. Dudley, what about you?
But without beating around the bush too much, it's kind of been a bit stressful here and there, like over the last couple of months. But like,
Yeah.
something that I has helped with that is definitely so Ali introduced me a while back to this show called Hell of a Boss, and it's
Good
the
stuff.
first show in a long time that I've addictedly re-watched episodes from. And that's a good sign, because I thought I'd kicked that phase. And I wouldn't be responsible if I didn't tell people, Hell of a Boss is like, say, 18 plus. So if any of you out there are listening,
Very black humor.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
kids, as much as it's online, pay it no attention till you're at least 18.
Yeah.
It has been a joy.
Oh, it's an absolute delight.
Yeah,
I've only seen like the first few. I've only seen like the first few episodes. So
Yeah,
I
I've
still need
heard
to watch
Michael.
some more.
I mean,
Yeah.
it takes place in hell, so it's going to be
Yes.
unbelievably dark and unbelievably hilarious in all the right
And that's what I
ways.
love about it.
So,
Yep.
writing, the lore, the animation, the colour, musical numbers,
Yeah.
it just pops. It's just so
Oh,
good.
some of the songs they have in that show are top notch.
Yeah,
Obviously, on top of that, you've got the Has Been Hotel pilot, which is also very good.
yep.
Just put
Another
that out there.
show in the same universe, and Vipsy Pop has been working very hard to bring it to the big screen, and maybe someday, just like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, we'll see it on TV.
It still amazes me that Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is actually on TV.
Yep, I finished reacting to it just this week. Yep, it's exactly what you think it is.
I feel like I have a special place on the internet, but hey, what do I know?
Yeah.
Kind of the way that it's named, I know nothing about it, but like my first instinct is it's probably like Goosebumps. Is it?
Oh.
Let's just say
Yes and no.
it starts off like an episode of Sesame Street, puppets teaching you an important life lesson, but it corrupts itself to the point where it teaches you lessons in horrific ways.
Oh.
I mean, film theories covered this topic quite extensively because they talk about there's one episode on it with the internet series where they're talking about love and says the corrupted moral here is that love is only acceptable if it's followed in a certain way, especially because it applies to religion. And throughout the episode, our main lead is nearly seduced into joining a cult.
Oh.
So it's that sort of moral deliverer, basically. It teaches brainwashed lessons in a way. I can't explain it. You're going to have to see that film theory.
The best way to describe it in my vernacular is Doki Doki Literature Club before Doki Doki Literature Club was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like to use that comparison a lot, and it's weird how much it can apply to things now.
Yeah, so press on, Dudley.
I mean, that's kind of it, really. Got not much else to say.
Oh well.
Well, compared to my long-winded story, you got nothing.
You're listening to the TBI Podcast. Well, as we all know, we tend to skip out a month between podcasts now, but it was Halloween. A major improvement over the last few years. Sure.
It's overdue, but...
Sure, in my area it rained, but let me tell you, the kids that came around, they were geniuses.
Oh.
Because one of them came up to our house wearing an inflatable minion costume.
Oh my god.
That is brilliant. Because it's raining, the rain is kept off you and you can still go house to house. It's perfect.
Yeah, this is big brain time.
Yeah.
All I can say is, next year I'm expecting a whole bunch of inflatable T-Rexes.
Oh dear.
But yeah, in the spirit of Halloween that just happened, I wanted to talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about since last Halloween, and that was the new Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes.
Now,
Good things.
yep. Whew. Let me tell you, after seeing it, after seeing this movie, I think Harold Ramis would have been proud to have seen this.
Yes, he would.
Harold Ramis...
Ghostbusters was literally like my childhood growing up, so seeing that film made it more emotional for me, so...
Oh. Yeah, because for those of you who don't know, Harold Ramis, of course, played Egon out of the original Ghostbusters crew, and sadly, he passed away some point in 2014, I think it was.
Yeah.
And this whole movie is basically in the movie, they straight up say that, Egon has died as well within the universe of Ghostbusters, and this whole movie is about, his granddaughter rediscovering the Ghostbusters legacy in order to take down their ultimate villain one last time. And yep, I don't know how they did the finale with Egon, because for obvious reasons. How do you do that? It looks so convincing.
I think they got an actual someone that looked like Egon, and then they just put special effects on him. Because I remember seeing it behind the scenes when they used someone that looked like Egon.
Yeah.
They've got a lot better with stuff like that recently, but they've had Tarkin and Leia and
that's true.
And stuff in Star Wars.
They use actual people as well to look like the original people.
Yeah, I let me tell you, when I first saw Rogue One, I had no idea that Tarkin's actor had died. I just thought, oh hey, it's him from the first, technically the first Star Wars movie. Like when people, when I found out that he was fully CGI and he had died years ago, I was like, what? Oh my god!
God, the first step of necromancy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, looking back on it, it's pretty obvious that Tarkin's a model because although the mouth movement clearly looks a bit animated because you can see that it's not quite live action. But let me tell you, seeing Leia in her glory days, that was even more impressive. Like, I don't care what people think about the effects. When I first saw her in cinema, looking as young as she used to, I was like, wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Fun fact, even though it's not something you'd majorly notice in it, but the original film, when Luke's going to destroy the Death Star and he has a group of rebels flying alongside him, they were also Rogue One as animated people, but because you see them for like away segments really quickly, you can't tell, they just look like normal people, so it's another like
But yeah, speaking of Ghostbusters, it was definitely a great finale to the original Ghostbusters crew.
Yeah.
And what will this lead to the future if the franchise does? Will it lead to a new Ghostbusters crew? I mean, I'd love to see new Ghostbusters movies starring the kids. I mean, they definitely make a great team.
I mean, there is rumors that a new Ghostbusters film is going to be set after this film. And
it's funny. Alright, just say, because in Ghostbusters Afterlife, there's this calendar on the wall, like the hieroglyph wall. Not character, flipping calendar, yeah. And basically it says the date when the first Ghostbusters film was. When you had 2020, whatever it was, when Ghostbusters Afterlife came out. And then it said the next date was like 2042 or something. So now they've basically, it's kind of like saying the next big Ghostbusters film is going to be in 2042.
Wow, that's going to be a long time.
You can't make promises like that. Back to the Future promised us hoverboards in 2016 or whenever it was. Still nothing.
No.
Not yet, anyways.
Actually, there are hoverboards now, because I've seen it.
More like prototypes, right? Not actual.
I've literally, it's like to do with magnets, and you can, I'll send it to you guys after if I can find it. But they're not like as good as the films yet, but they do exist.
Honestly.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yes.
Well, Ghostbusters Afterlife is definitely one way to bring a franchise to a close. But what happens when you need to keep a franchise going? How fitting, because Marvel is experiencing a similar issue when it comes to their final movie this year, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Yeah, because for those of you who don't know, although that's probably a very small percentage of you, Chadwick Boseman, who famously played Black Panther, sadly died in 2020 after, out of nowhere, it was revealed that he had been suffering from colon cancer. He kept it all a secret. Even when he was working on Civil War, he still kept his cancer a secret.
Yeah.
But now...
If he didn't, yeah.
But now with the MCU continuing, long after that, Wakanda is clearly established as a place we're coming back to in future stories, but how can we do that without Black Panther? Well, one solution, which... Now, I often wondered about, where do you take Black Panther now? If you even take it anywhere. Do you recast him, or do you bring in someone else to fill in the spot of Black Panther? What would you guys have done?
maybe it could have been like a new generation, as well, like his son, or I don't know. Like,
Almost either or could work.
If the family were alright with it, I'd say maybe do the whole thing with the animated person again, but then the other option is recasting, like with a new actor. I think.
Yeah, I mean, the MCU's done major recastings before, as we all know. Rhodey, aka War Machine, yep.
Yeah.
He wasn't always played by Don Cheadle. Originally, as we all know, in Iron Man 1, he was played by a completely different person. But ever since then, he's been played by Don Cheadle, and we've been thankful for it ever since. Also, another major example, fixing the Mandarin at long last. Because in Iron Man 3, we were greeted with an appalling version of the Mandarin, and it wasn't even the Mandarin, it was an actor playing the Mandarin. But ever since then, we've had Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, showing how the Mandarin should have been done in the first place, so much so that the actor from Iron Man 3 who played him is brought on board to help Shang-Chi in his quest.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not forget the Mandarin villain who was in Iron Man 3, like the fire one,
Where did that come from? I really need to look into that.
It's like the actor who was pretending to be the Mandarin was acting because his boss, who was at the time the actual Mandarin, was the villain. But then in Shang-Chi, he says there were criminals who followed his line, and blah.
But still, in terms of Black Panther, technically, they have a new Black Panther lined up in the form of Shuri, his sister in the movies. But there is a slight problem with this. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see a female Black Panther. I'm open for it. But the problem is, the actor playing Shuri, she doesn't support vaccines. And it's like, do we really want this person representing Black Panther, even if she's going to encourage this type of behavior? But that's real life issues. I mean, if you ignore their real life issues and just focus on who they are within the movies and such, I think she'll do okay. Let's just hope.
I try to have a sort of opinion of an actor's an actor. As long as they don't try to sell their rhetoric on the character they're portraying, then whatever. But there's exceptions to every rule, so depending on just how heinous they can get, then I may take away support. But on things like vaccines, yes, it's horrible that she doesn't seem to support them despite all the science saying otherwise, but especially considering the kind of character she's playing, which is Shuri, a very scientific girl. It kind of runs to me as ironically funny in a kind of way, but
yeah.
Again, I'm just off the rhetoric. As long as they try not to sell their beliefs on the character that they're portraying, then there's a bit of a line that can be drawn between the actor and the character.
Yeah. But still, the movie still looks pretty incredible. I mean, Shuri as Black Panther is certainly quite a fascinating design, but on top of that, we have Namor, the Sea Mutant. The Sea Mutant. The Sea Mutant. Hear that? Mutants are in the MCU.
Uh-oh.
I mean, the merge has officially happened. I mean, we had Fox's Quicksilver in WandaVision. We've had Professor X in Doctor Strange. And now we've got Namor and his mutants sea people setting up to be the villains of this new movie. So it's only a matter of time before more and more X-Men appear.
Ryan Reynolds did a sort of a Deadpool teaser not too long ago saying, "Hey Hugh, do you want to be in another film.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh, it's like, yes.
Yep, Deadpool and Wolverine have officially stated that Deadpool 3 will be in the MCU. And they further cemented this because Deadpool's logo officially has Mickey ears.
Oh,
So that's
I haven't seen that.
just that symbolism alone lets you know that things are going to get out of hand.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think there are some people I can think of who'd agree with me, who I've spoken to, though, that ever since Endgame, and I think I could argue the Spider-Man film that came after that, it doesn't look like the MCU has a clear direction to where it's going. Like, they keep dropping a load of post-credit scenes and stuff, and it's, like, interesting, but it's not like, there's not a lot of, you can't really see where it's
yeah.
I
headed.
mean, this was bound to happen. I mean, Endgame, one of the greatest films of all time, ending off a decade's worth of storytelling. How do you press on after that?
Yeah.
Of course, the filmmaker is going to be sapped of creativity. I mean, they are building up to other stories. It's just in early stages right now. It's like how Iron Man 1 was to Avengers Assemble. It's just going to take a few years before the truly interesting stuff begins to happen again.
Yeah.
I'm going to say my prediction now that I've told someone in the past, so that in 6 years or whatever, if it happens, I could be like, ha. But I have a prediction that eventually they're going to face a foe so powerful they have to resort to resurrecting Thanos for advice.
Oh,
Jeez.
And because we have a new cast of characters or something, we won't know Thanos personally, so we get this whole thing where, they kind of like, oh, we need this guy. I could just see
if
it
Thanos
happening.
comes back, oh my god.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, the next big bad of the MCU teased a little bit at the end of Loki, but let me tell you, he is setting up to be pretty dangerous. I mean, from what I've heard, we're currently in the beginning of the multiverse saga. We had the Infinity Saga with Thanos, but, well, the multiverse saga, it's looking up to be pretty exciting. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
No Way Home's interesting because the way the post-credit scene kind of shows us we've got Venom in the universe now.
Oh, yeah.
Every pop vinyl that has like a Venom skin is possible now. Like we can see Venom go onto any character, like the Hulk or whatever in the series.
Yeah.
Can that work on the Hulk?
I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen pop vinyls of Venomized Hulk. It could happen.
Oh, god.
Mm.
You are listening to the TBI show.
Well, it's time for the last segment of the year of the month's most ridiculous headlines.
Yeah.
Insert inventive sound of vocabulary hit. Oh.
Oh well. Anyway, in this month's news, McDonald's are planning on introducing adult-only Happy Meals.
Oh.
So,
I'm curious to know what that would constitute.
don't worry, it's not leading. It's exactly what you think it is. It's just adult-sized Happy Meals that come with a toy.
You get
Okay, I was thinking something entirely different, but okay.
a whole watermelon instead of apple slices. You get
I don't think it will be as crazy as that. But still, as a kid who favored McDonald's above many other fast food chains, yes, I did enjoy getting toys with my Happy Meal.
Yes.
Sure, my parents got rid of a lot of them when there was a lot piling up, which annoyed me. But still, if McDonald's follows through with this idea, you've struck gold. I mean, I'd definitely order an adult-sized Happy Meal if it meant getting stuff I wanted from Happy Meals
Stuff.
toys.
Yeah.
When Pokemon comes around again, get more cards.
Oh, no.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, let's just say if that does happen, I know it will be sold out immediately in some
Yeah.
places. Okay. Here's the next headline that I have. A National Park Service urges people to stop licking psychedelic toads.
What?
So, we all know that frogs and toads aren't the most glamorous of animals and can be a bit slimy.
Yeah.
But what happens when people discover, hey, if we lick this thing, we'll start hallucinating? So, yeah.
TikTok thing.
Why?
So a national
Let's check it
park
out.
has officially urged people, stop doing it.
And why would you do that anyways?
Just think of that line from the Great Muppet Caper where Fuzzy's like, if you hold him too long, he'll just give you awards.
No.
I mean,
They have to put up signs now. Please do not lick the toads.
who are these people? Are they witch doctors? Why would
They
you
must be into weird stuff.
licking toads?
Psychedelic toads, psychedelic toadstools. It's like,
No.
It's all connected.
Next thing you'll be telling me there'll be jellyfish that look like mushrooms. Oh, I said too much.
What? Excuse me?
just send in some of those robotic police.
But anyway, here's the next headline that I have. A time traveler from 2671 warns that aliens could hit Earth in the next few months.
Wait.
Oh, good. We need some good news.
Well, I mean, this was...
Time traveler?
This was uploaded a few months ago, and
You have a time machine?
just reading further on, according to the self-professed time traveler called Eno Alaric, aliens will crash on Earth in a giant meteor on December 8th. So put that in your calendars.
Touch wood, touch wood.
Now we need the whole empire on our side.
Well, I mean, it could happen someday, aliens. Along with this, they share 4 other dates where dark events will take place within the next 6 months. So, they're here to warn us, hopefully, about something that could happen.
My warners, why not stop it?
The meteorite doesn't crash too badly.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Let's hope they'll be okay. We're gonna need to invest in some big mattresses.
Yeah, we're gonna
This
need more than
time
that.
traveler isn't amongst those people who claim that they're a ghost from 1979 and then
Yeah.
themselves. It's like that time is.
It's probably like a fun person.
Well, I mean, there have been a lot of people who have predicted the future and failed, but well, depending on what happens December 8th, I'll be keeping my eye on the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen some weird stuff in the sky myself, so.
Okay. Ooh, gosh. Here's a new headline for you.
Uh-oh.
A lab-grown brain cells play game of Pong.
What?
Oh.
So, researchers have grown brain cells in a lab that have learned to play the 70s tennis game of Pong.
A place to start.
I mean, sheesh, they built a brain that learned how to play video games.
And it's all downhill from here. Every YouTuber is going to lose their job.
Yeah.
Next
game on the brain cell list. Surgeon Simulator. And then...
Oh, gosh.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, just reading a bit further on, they say their mini brain can sense and respond to its environment. So claims to have created the first sentient lab-grown brain in a dish. Other experts describe the work as exciting, but say calling the brain cells sentient is going too far.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I mean,
Sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I'm too busy playing Pong. Boop, boop, doop. I mean, I guess if they had to choose any game to play, why not the simplest one? I mean, if it's a matter of determining the colors black and white from each other and just moving them along, I guess I can see that working. So it's only a matter of time before these things start playing super complex stuff. Who was that? Michael! Michael, get your ghosts out of here!
I don't do nothing.
I was saying something when Dan was talking, but I don't know if it came through creepy or something.
So what were you saying, Dudley?
That is for the lost audio to discover when people listen to this podcast. Hey.
Touche. Oh, and and just like that, this next headline's also brain-related. So, human brain tissue has been implanted into rats, integrated, and grew with host's brain.
Try that sentence again. I think I lost track halfway.
I mean, the headline alone, the headline alone itself is pretty confusing. A research team in the US has shown that human brain tissue implanted into rats can integrate into the host's brain, promising to give scientists an entirely new way to study brain disorders, but raising ethical issues too.
Oh god, they're gonna give the rats depression.
Oh, no.
Oh god, we're gonna make our ADHDs and
I'm gonna make them suffer.
PTSDs and make them the rodents' problems.
So is this saying human brain tissue can zombify rats like fungus can do to ants?
Oh my god! I can't believe Pickle Rick was right. I mean, he's literally... I mean, that whole episode dealt with, controlling the mind of a rat. I mean, it actually happened.
It's more like hooking himself up to the nervous system of, like, rats. This is like, oh, if I stick my brain tissue in a rat, then I control the rat. It's like, we're going to have
Oh my god.
soon.
It's reverse Ratatouille.
Oh no.
Oh, instead of the rat controlling the human, it's the human controlling the rat.
No.
Jeez.
And when nightmare has come true.
I was thinking more along the lines of the Golden Compass. It's like demons. You can have your own.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's a more positive way to look.
Part of your soul lives in this animal counterpart that walks in a separate body to yours.
We didn't need...
Oh, a demon? Nah, I just put bits of my brain in it.
yeah, nice to see me. Wait, what?
Didn't need a Winnie the Pooh horror film, and now Rowan's made the Ratatouille horror film.
Oh god, that's one thing. Oh god, that was one thing I forgot to bring up. Oh gosh. Yep, you heard that right. Winnie the Pooh is being made into a slasher horror movie. I mean, stuff like this is bound to happen, and now that Winnie the Pooh is public domain, Disney no longer holds exclusive rights over it, and thus, people tend to go for some extreme examples in this case, and one of them, by some guy in the UK, has decided to make an R-rated version of that live-action Christopher Robin movie that came out a few years ago.
Oh. I'm sorry, we've had Banana Splits and this Winnie the Pooh film. How hard is it to get a Five Nights at Freddy's film? Like, why hasn't that been a thing yet?
I know. It says it's in the
I've been saying it for years.
I mean, the closest thing we got was Willy's Wonderland starring Nick
Yeah.
Cage. And even that is very close to being that.
Yes.
I have seen like hummings online about it, but by this point there's been hummings online about it for years now. All I'm really going to say in the matter is, if whenever they make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, there aren't any YouTuber guest stars like Markiplier or Game Theory or Doggo, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to
They
get
need
the,
to be there. They
guy.
are the backbone of that whole thing.
Yes.
It would
It needs
not
to be
have
like an
survived
origin
as long as
story.
it did if it hadn't been for them.
Yes, I would love to see a Five Nights at Freddy's film. Ugh.
They need to give it the, is it All Guy, the film with Ryan Reynolds?
Free Guy?
Free Guy, that's it.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
have like cameos from all the like YouTubers and
Oh yeah.
people, so yeah, they need to do that.
I don't want it to be like that.
Something I always imagine though, like on that sort of topic, is having Matt Pat, the Game Theory
Oh my
guy,
God,
being
yeah.
like, what if he was just like one of those crazy people that you see outside of shops with one of those signs like, this is a huge cover up. They have covered up the deaths of these children, and it's just like, oh, don't mind crazy old Matt. He's just him and his conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Oh, that is perfect. That is
Yeah.
absolutely perfect.
And also
it makes sense.
Markiplier. Like, there has to be like a picture of Markiplier in
Oh my
the
god.
restaurant, and it's him being Employee of the Month or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He is the king of Five Nights at Freddy's, after all.
Indeed, he is.
That's what they call the Employee of the Month, the king of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to reference like YouTubers, but not actually see them in the film.
Well,
Even
and,
just as like Easter eggs.
yeah. I mean, Jacksepticeye, he's prominent in Free Guy, so why not here?
Oh yeah. I'm
Oh,
going
Oh yeah, Jacksepticeye's made like little guest appearances in games like Bendy and the Ink Machine and Poppy Playtime. Why not a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that everyone's spirits are lifted, let's see what next year has to offer. I mean, there's a lot of things to look forward to. The Owl House will be concluding next year, and I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Still haven't seen any of that yet.
Oh, you're missing out. You really are. But yeah, like I brought up earlier, we tend to skip out a month between podcasts, so chances are this might be the last podcast we upload this year. So December might be just a month for gaming and such. But all I can say is, at least for our audience this year, this will be the last time any of us will be bringing up Scarlet and Violet on repeat this year, because it's appeared in every single podcast this month, just building up to it.
Last time? Okay, well, if you've got an hour. So,
No, we've had our chance. We had our chance.
6 days till it comes out, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, until next year, guys, thank you for listening. Keep your spirits up and keep your eyes to the sky for those aliens December 8th.
Oh god. It seems.
Rowan's cat's just come in to put its paw on her, like, it's okay, Rowan. This week's over. It's all over.
So, yep, we'll see you guys next year. Time to say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye!
So, here it is.
No.
No. Godzilla's in
Why?
Pokemon. Godzilla's in Pokemon. Godzilla's in Pokemon.
No.
What?
What?
Okay, I'm cutting there. I'm sorry. I let that slip.
Wait, no!